Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Putt.
Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? We made it to the end of the week. It's Friday, the 3rd of June, 2016. Sun in Gemini, Moon in Taurus, soon to be Moon in Gemini, and that will be just in time for our new moon coming up over the course of this weekend, tomorrow to be exact. Let's not jump ahead. So what we have is the Gemini, right? Gemini, Sun in Gemini, all about choices, relationships. It's an air sign. Hebrew letter Zayin means sword, sword of discernment, or we have to be able to discern one thing from another, right from wrong, good from evil. We have to discern it. And here you have the conscious mind, the male, the unconscious mind, the female, and the superconscious, the angel. And the proper way of working together is the male. The conscious mind looks to the unconscious, that looks to the superconscious, and then we have a nice good balance. So the choices we make are all choices that are made properly, because then we're working with the energy in the right way. Here we have Taurus, the moon sign, connecting the spirit to the physical. Connecting the spirit to the physical, very important. We need to do this. I think we see signs, and we've certainly heard in past the civilizations that have collapsed. They've collapsed because they've removed God from the equation. When you remove God from the equation, things collapse. That's what's happening here in America. We're reaping the results of a lot of years of removing God from life here, from the picture, and that is causing problems here. So we need to, if we're going to move forward, if we're going to get past this, we have to put God back where God belongs and not make any excuses. And if you have an issue with that out there, that's your problem. Okay? It's time for God to be back. And if you got a problem with God, take it up with God. But don't start spewing your nonsense to other people and try to remove any more. I'm really tired of this. Very tired of this. I know a lot of others are. So let's put God back where God belongs and let it be after that. Some of the aspects we're dealing with today, a number of them have already occurred. We had the moon. Taurus was in trine with Pluto, bringing some transformation during the nighttime, sleep, maybe in the dreams, an opposition with Saturn, wanting to apply some discipline to our ideas of relationships, of communication. Mercury is in conjunction, went into conjunction with Taurus, wanting to understand the way we're communicating. And then we move into the afternoon. The next one is where the part of ourselves that needs to be healed, the wounded aspect. We have to take a look at that this afternoon because it's in a sextile with Taurus. How do we heal the physical? How do we heal the problems? We bring God back in. We connect God back to who and what we're about, because without that, we're lost, my friends. We're lost. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. 6:02 p.m., the moon is in opposition with Mars. Mars brings lots of intense energies with it. This could be violence, this could be anger, this could be creativity. Just depends in which that energy is channeled. And then we go void of course, which means up until 10 p.m., when the moon goes into the next phase, it's just sort of hanging there in this void, in the in-between phase. 7:47 p.m., our imagination is going to be in opposition with Saturn, discipline. Need to apply some discipline to what we're doing, to our creativity, to our imagination. And then finally at 10:01 p.m., our moon moves into Gemini. So we will be this weekend. Our sun in Gemini, our moon in Gemini. And as we've talked about the moon phase itself, it's going to be the new moon tomorrow. Right now we're 3.5% of the way there. Tomorrow, the actual new moon is at 7:59 p.m., so 1 minute shy of 8 o'clock. In the Jewish calendar, today is 26 Lyre. 26 Lyre, Omer count day 41. The daily thought for today is live study. There are two types of study: the study of static object, something of the past, something long dead. All that's needed for this study is cold, hard intellect. Then there is the study of a vibrant living being. To know it, you must live with it. Be humbled before it. Feel its life and spirit. Truth is the ultimate living being. And the Dreamspell Oracle today is a 10-day planetary tone manifestation. The kin for today is the World Bridger. Life and death, timelessness of the wizard is above it. So today is the planetary World Bridger guided by the wizard. The phrase for today is I perfect in order to equalize, producing opportunity. I seal the store of death with the planetary tone of manifestation. I am guided by the power of timelessness. Solar wind currently at 327.0 kilometers per second. Planetary K index currently quiet at a 1. Chrono hole in the middle. We're going to be feeling the effect of this over the weekend. It says late on the 4th. M-class flare possibilities at 1%, same as X-class flare. Geomagnetic storm activity is on the rise. It's going in the mid latitudes from 5 to 35%, in the high latitudes from 25 all the way up to 70%. So we definitely have an uptick in the energies around us, intensifying things. And finally, looking up at the sky, we have a couple of little graphs here. Today, we see that it says looking southeast, 1 hour after sunset, we'll see Mars. We're not going to see the moon because the moon's completely dark, or almost completely dark. We got Mars, we've got Antares, Saturn. If we look halfway up, we see Leo, just to the right of Jupiter. Okay. And then, of course, we have this last one here, Polaris, the North Star, Cassiopeia. This is looking north. This is over happening right now. It says for much of this spring at mid-northern latitudes, the Milky Way lies right down out of sight all around the horizon. But watch the east now. The rich Cepheus Cygnus Achilles stretch of the Milky Way starts out rising up all the way across the east late these nights, earlier and higher every week. Okay, so there you go. That's our cosmic weather for today. UFO news is up next.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk, thank you very much. Today, I have 3 good stories for you. First story here, this comes to us from Ecuador. UFO over Ecuador recorded on the street June 2nd. So we've got 3 objects, 4 objects actually, 2 long cylindrical cigar-shaped objects and 2 small orbs. This UFO was recorded and is on video. However, the video is only on Facebook, so click here to view it. The UFOs do appear similar to be real UFOs seen in the past in the sky. I do have some reservations about UFOs being recorded through windows because windows can reflect light as you're recording and thus make an UFO appear as though it's real. Okay, here we go. They say an alleged UFO over Guayaquil on May 30th. A video posted to Facebook exceeded 52,000 hits. According to the person posting, the clip showed a flying saucer. As of this writing, the publication has been shared over 1,000 times. As this image shows, the object flies next to a rainbow in the sky. No critical version of this event exists at the moment. What do you think? Okay. Links available. Check on the link there. Go watch the video. I'm moving on. All right, Rachel, Nevada. Rachel, Nevada is the last stop before you get to Area 51. It says unless you've stopped on the way to Ely or Tonopah, you probably haven't spent much time in Rachel, the small rural stop on Highway 375 known as Extraterrestrial Highway. The town has a population of 98 people and is sandwiched between long, lonely stretches of nothing but road and desert. Although isolated, Rachel's claim to notoriety is its location. It's the last stop before Area 51 and is said to be the location of numerous alien sightings. The ET highway can definitely inspire such speculation. Roadkill is prevalent on the less trafficked route. I saw 3 dead cows, 2 snakes, 1 unidentified animal on the drive. Points of interest are few and far between. The first thing you should know about Rachel is there is no gas station. To fill up, you must stop in either Alamo or Ash Springs area. Following the highway from Alamo, your first stop should be at the Alien Research Center in neighboring town Hiko. Housed in a hangar with a giant metallic alien standing guard, this will be your first and possibly only sighting of an intergalactic stranger. While the term research center is loosely applied, the business is perfect for picking up on any space kits you might desire, alien ID cards, Star Wars t-shirts, anyone? Also provides a brochure of useful information on the surroundings, such as don't wander close to Area 51 base at night. Your next stop will be 40 minutes later at the Little Alien, where the owners have provided lodging and grub to Earthlings for more than 25 years. This is the perfect spot to grab a cheap bite and some extraterrestrial souvenirs such as alien jerky, outer space vodka, and more t-shirts. It also provides the perfect photo ops with a parking lot that boasts a tiny flying saucer and an extraterrestrial highway sign emblazoned with stickers from past travelers and UFO hunters. Further up the road, you'll find a black mailbox, which is actually 2 white mailboxes. One belongs to Ranch Steve Medlin. The other is for the missives addressed to beings not of this earth. The spot became a meeting point for UFO hunters after Bob Lazar went on television in 1989, saying he worked on extraterrestrial technology at Area 51. Beyond that is the secretive base itself, the border of which is actually patrolled. If you dare, you can see how far you can drive until you're asked to turn around. Okay. So there you go. There's the little flying saucer there out by the Little Alien. All right, and one more UFO-related story for today. U.S. government official talks about UFO cover-up. A U.S. investor who held positions in the Ministry of Defense and within the intelligence community has openly expressed for the first time about the information the government has on hand on UFOs. Working 20 years for the federal government, Christopher Mellon received several awards and claimed to have visited Area 51 and various other military bases. His interest in UFOs started as a child when his friend showed him a video clip of a massive disc-shaped golden object. He then began to read books on UFOs and performed a research project for his university physics professor. Mellon doesn't believe Hillary Clinton will ever get a chance to get access to secret government programs on UFOs if she wins her presidential bid. Mellon shared instances where White House employees could gain access to Ministry of Defense secret programs. He thinks Clinton and other people like her may hold high positions for years without getting at secret programs of the ministry, which mostly involve the development of new weapons. Mellon also pointed out that some incidents involving UFOs when he worked for the government. A Navy pilot called on him one day to report about a UFO circling a fighter. As far as Mellon knew, the Navy didn't conduct further investigation. Another instance involved 4 or 5 bright UFOs that were captured on radar in the evening sky. Mellon said that everyone was puzzled, but no government employee gave some interest, even after a TV program, Nightline, showed the images. Mellon said that political correctness resulted in complete lack of scientific curiosity. Mellon suggested that Clinton should reach out to NORAD and let them perform the research if she is serious to find the UFO topic deeply. NORAD is a military organization that monitors the U.S. airspace. According to Mellon, there are many well-documented UFO sightings, including the UFO sightings that took place in November 1989 in Belgium. There were 13 police officers and hundreds of other people witnessed two triangular objects flying in the sky. However, the authorities could not give clear explanation even after the Belgian Air Force launched an investigation with a group of scientists and experts from the U.S. and NATO countries. In another UFO sighting, more than 100 witnesses, including soldiers and law enforcement officials, saw a triangular object above England March 30th, 1993. It managed to move away suddenly at a very fast speed from a standstill. The British Ministry of Defense failed to know the origin of the aerial object. Okay, so here we have this guy who doesn't think that Hillary's going to actually do anything. And can't imagine why he would think that, but he seems to be in the know. I think that too. I think Hillary's just, saying what she's going to say to get elected. And he makes a good point. If she's really serious, then she should contact NORAD. But that's when it's going to end, because she really isn't serious. She's just trying to play on people who she thinks are stupid. All right, I'll be right back. Stay tuned.
What if our government was responsible for some of the greatest crimes against this nation? Would you really want to know? These are big questions, but these questions deserve answers. It's time to demand the truth.
People shouldn't be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid.
9/11 was an inside job. Kennedy was killed by the CIA. Jimmy Carter saw UFO. Answers to secrets you need to know. So wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. The evidence is overwhelming. Step past your fear, take a look. Illuminati lies keep growing, but they're illusion from your eyes. And wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. What would our founding fathers say if they were alive today? Must be turning in their graves. Redcoats are coming, big brother's watching. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. What if I land and two if I see? And I on the opposite shore will be ready to ride and spread the alarm through every Middlesex village and farm. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. When a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Patriots arise. It's time to demand the truth.
All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. So, what I've got going on for the rest of this, well, not the rest, but for the next little segment here, is an interview that was done over the course of this weekend with Stephen Bassett. Stephen Bassett, as you may know, is a UFO activist. He is an activist for helping to end the truth embargo about the extraterrestrial phenomena that is taking place here on Earth. So, without further ado, let me just get to this interview. And I'll get a chunk of it done here today. The whole video is available at the link, as you can see. Here we go. Hello there, Earthlings. How you doing today? This is Josh Pote with First Contact Radio. Today, I have Stephen Bassett back on the show. You've heard him in the past. Here he is again to update us on what's going on. Stephen Bassett is a leading advocate for ending the 70-year government-imposed truth embargo regarding an extraterrestrial presence engaging the human race. He is the executive director of Paradigm Research Group and the Political Action Committee XPPAC, and the executive producer of the X Conference. His work has been extensively covered by national and international media. Over the past 7 years, Stephen has spoken to audiences all over the world about the implications of formal disclosure. All right, how you doing, Stephen?
Fine.
Excellent. All right, we'll just jump right in here. Okay, so it seems as if the most exciting information that you're dealing with is in regards to these last couple of press releases that you have, that from the 10th, from the 25th, in regards to not only Hillary Clinton and her ET issues and stories, but also that of Barack Obama.
Yeah, there's a very complicated scenario underway that really is now 18 months on. So if someone goes to paradigmresearchgroup.org and they click on the political coverage link at the bottom of that page, they will see a pretty good compilation of the media coverage of this story going back to November 2014, as well as events and actions on the part of the Clinton team, which includes Barack Obama now, related to the ET issue. I believe that the situation is set up for disclosure, either under Clinton if she wins the presidency, or under Obama if the issue blows out. And again, someone would need to spend a good hour or two on that page to come sort of understand this. There's hundreds of articles there that have been written about this. Over nearly 100 articles has been written about PRG's work in this since November of 2014. And we're talking mainstream media, New York Times, Washington Post, New York Magazine, Roll Call, Mother Jones, Daily Mirror, Daily Express, and on and on. So the print media is finally breaking through on the ET issue as an important story, but a political story connected to the Clintons. And now we're just waiting for the television news operations, which are the most hogtied and most constrained, to step in. They've just dabbled at it. I mean, it took 15 months of articles, hundreds of them, before much at all happened on TV, on the TV news and cable news, which is remarkable when you think about it. And I'm keeping track of that as well. Again, paradigmresearchgroup.org, and you click on the political coverage link. And give an example how little it's been. I think there's only been 6 instances, maybe 7, where this story, which is being covered in print all over the world, has been talked about on television news, which is just flabbergasting. But in any event, I think it was back in April. It was on The Talk, CBS morning show. Then there was a brief mention on Meet the Press Daily in May. And then things started picking up. Andrea Mitchell's question about the issue to Josh Earnest was picked up on the 11th of this month, and then Clinton spoke, or rather, it was mentioned on Aaron Burnett show. Then on Sunday, NBC Sunday Today, that was on the 15th. ABC News Tonight picked it up on the 15th a little bit, and then there was a little film segment, just 2 days ago on MSNBC on Morning Joe. That's 7. That's it. The number of articles written worldwide on this story, I estimate between 500 and 700. Mainstream media, that includes foreign press. So once again, the television news people are falling down. They're not, they're just not covering the stuff that's important. They've gotten into entertainment business. They're not in the news business much anymore. People are having to go to UK websites and RT and other places to find out what's going on in the world, and even find out what's going on in the United States. And these shows are, the fortune is paid on these shows. The hosts of these shows, most of the hosts, and I've researched this, of the talk news or news venues shows are all multimillionaires, with hardly any exception. All multi-millionaires, worth between $3 and $100 million, making between $1 and $25 million, $30 million a year, $30 million a year, and you're not getting 5 cents on the dollar in terms of journalism. It's a real problem, but we're going to crack them. We're going to force them into this.
Good. That's excellent, because they certainly need that. I mean, it's very interesting what's going on. The media, we know in the past they've really been close-lipped about things, but it seems like they've joined forces now in ways they haven't in the past, and are really going out of their way to keep info from people.
Again, the television news is the principal problem. The print media is expanding. See, while the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, Washington Post rather, are far too often basically conceding the government's positions or avoiding issues that might be uncomfortable. The overall print media, though, has expanded horizontally thanks to the internet. And so there's just so many print media, and I include, obviously, internet is print, though it includes video, that you can't hog tie all that. And a small, theoretically, a small news website with a minor budget is just as available as the most powerful news shows on network television. If you're on a website, anybody in the world can go get it if they're not blocked by their country. And so this is what's breaking down the truth embargo and the government's ability to contain it. And I would say that the three network, cable networks and three network news operations are the last holdouts. They will be the last to finally come around, but they're slowly coming around, and the amount of print coverage is going to continue, and it's not going to stop. I mean, it's literally turning into an avalanche. If people go to the page I mentioned, they can see it. It's right in front of their eyes.
Well, I do notice at your page, seems like there's so much more information here. I mean, you've done an amazing job of collecting information. I'm highly impressed. There's just so much here that it seems like since we've spoken last that it's expanded even more, and there was a lot there at that time.
Yeah, of course. On that page. We're keeping track of everything the Clintons do publicly, and Clinton associates, advisors, including the president, connected to the ET issue, which is unprecedented. What's happened so far is unprecedented in American history. Then we're keeping track of the print coverage, the amount of which is unprecedented in American history. We're also keeping track of any television, mainstream television coverage in the U.S., which has been tiny. And then there's a few, some media clips of PRG, meaning me, or relations to PRG. There's been very little of that. I didn't get a call. I finally got a call from CNN and ABC about 5 nights ago, after 18 months of media driving this process. 18 months, hundreds and hundreds of articles. 100 of them were about PRG and this advocacy work. PRG meaning Paradigm Research Group. Not a single call from a single network. And you know how many shows there are. It's not. There's 3 cable networks and 3 regular networks. But then they all have a number of shows. So we're talking dozens and dozens of news shows. Not a single call from one of them in 18 months until a few days ago. Finally, a call from CNN. They wanted me to add, something to a little segment for one of their kind of amusing, comedy shtick things they do. It's a Genie moves, which is okay. I like Genie, it's okay. And I declined. I said, no, I'm not going to do it. Then ABC wanted me to make a comment on Skype for their Sunday news, and which I would have loved to have done. But fortunately, I'm in London. They didn't get to me in time. They waited the last minute, so I didn't get that. But at least they called. That's two
Hmm.
in
Right.
18 months, right? That is absolutely phenomenal. If I had come forward 18 months ago with some photos of Hillary Clinton in the clinch of a lesbian embrace, I would have done every friggin' news show on all of these networks by now, probably, to the point where people were nauseated to see me. This kind of superficiality, this failure of the network and cable news operations is not just trivial. It is incredibly damaging to the country and is creating huge problems because American people, without decent knowledge of what's going on, are making one mistake after another after another. The government's making mistakes and getting away with it, and the country is in deep trouble. And so these networks have got blood on their hands, they've got physical collapse on their hands, and they're being paid 1, 2, 5, 10, 11, 15, and even $30 million a year for these hosts to sit there and basically entertain us with what they
Right.
say is news. I mean, that is
Yeah.
just absolutely outrageous.
It is ridiculous. You know, it when I'm looking at this, one of my expertise is I study prophecy. I study the esoteric sciences and philosophies, and I try to make sense of this from a, outside of the box. And I see something unfolding here that is very much in line with Book of Revelation information, with prophecy. One, for example, there's been those who have taken another look at the Mayan calendar and have done some recalibrations on it, and see that there's that they're saying the end date of this is coming up June 4th, 2016, and there's articles going back to 2011 talking about this date. And it's interesting because the Mayans never talked about the end of the world; they talked about the return of the gods.
Yeah.
And here we're talking about a situation of possible disclosure, which might be exactly that thing. So that's interesting. I don't hang my hat on that with a lot of weight, but it's just a piece of the puzzle. And then looking at you know Revelation talks and really talks about this great deception that's about to be put on the people. That could be some sort of alien deception, but we certainly have the media, which is playing into deceiving the people by not giving them information of what's really going on.
There's merit here. Look, the whole concept of end of the world is bogus.
Hmm.
It always has been bogus. It's a pointless phrase. It means nothing. There's only one end of the world, and that will be when the sun expands to the orbit of the Earth as it ages, a few billion years away. Even at possibly a planetary impact, meaning another planet comes in and hits us, the world will be gone. But even a significant meteor impact doesn't bring an end to the world, and there have been a number of them. So
Right.
let's throw that phrase out. Apocalypse is really a poor phrase as well. Apocalypse actually means, in the proper Greek, is a revelation,
Correct.
right? Not the end. But people
Right.
are so enthralled with the idea of the end of the world that they've applied that term to it.
Well, that's
Armageddon.
what Hollywood has shown them.
Well, yeah, and Hollywood's picked up on that. I mean, it's a term that rings well. Armageddon, of course, is more close to the idea, right? But even that is not the end of the world. It's a major change.
Hmm.
So people need to get off of that. What is been prophesized is great change. The ancients knew enough to know that the world was in flux, and that they knew very little, and therefore change had to be coming. Plus, there was so much suffering. We have stand-up comedians today, and endless comedies and comedy shows and books, and we laugh a lot. I tell you, you go back 4, 5, 6,000 years, people didn't laugh so much. The world was difficult, painful, short, brutal, oppressive. Very few had some luxury. But even those that were wealthy, they didn't have any antiseptics, and they had very little to fight diseases except a few home remedies. It's just very difficult, very hard. And
Right.
so particularly oppressed peoples were always hoping for change, hoping for something that would make things better. Because by and large, if you were in the populace, if you were in the hoi polloi in ancient times, you had no power at all, at all. The odd revolution, the odd rebellion, yeah, always stamped out, crushed. Spartacus had a pretty good run, all killed. In fact, they were all crucified in the Appian Way, thousands and thousands of them. So people look. So that's change, and they
Right.
put it in messianic terms oftentimes because it's convenient. A single individual will come back and change it all. Well, the reality is, of course, that the world has changed and gotten better in a lot of ways, and we've made life longer. We've reduced some of the suffering, and we'd actually be in pretty good shape, but we also increased our population too far. We just kept going, right?
Hmm.
Like a family that was comfortable with 5 children and then had 10 more, and then all the children are running around in the backyard starving to death.
Right.
It's not hard to figure that math out, but uh, we've done that, but it's not enough, and there is another major change coming, and that is, of course, the introduction of the planet as a whole to some sort of non-human planetary politics. That's why we have the term exopolitics. Um,
Hmm.
this is inevitable. It's inevitable as Europe discovering, or at least engaging the North and South America, finding Asia, whatever. It was inevitable that the world 4 or 5 thousand years ago would eventually come into political alliances virtually from one end to the other, one pole to the other. That was inevitable, and it's happened.
Hmm.
So it's inevitable that we're going to have some sort of political relationship with these other civilizations, and that apparently is about to happen now.
It seems like it. It seems like it's a lot of things are building to a head. And I remember one of the things Obama said was there would be something profound that would occur before he left office.
Really? I
And
didn't say that.
he's made in one of the announcements said there was a profound. I'll have to dig it up and find it for you.
Send
But
that to me.
he, he definitely said there was something profound that was going to happen before he left office. And I don't think it's anything to do with all of these various gender bills and stuff out there. I think it was something else.
Well, I want to see that. If he
Okay.
said that, and I can confirm it, I can use it. But
Okay.
there's a lot of right now. As the anticipation builds, you're going to have more and more websites and individuals and so forth making what we'll call projective statements.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm not really criticizing it. It's just that they're they're eager to get this done. They're eager to see it happen, and so they're projecting. And so there's a lot of misinformation floating around. Um, but that was expected and inevitable, and I'm not shocked by it. Uh,
Now I like how you have the list of things that we need to pay attention for, anywhere from hoaxing to the people with predictions or false witnesses versus real witnesses, or as you
yeah.
say, people want to jump on the bandwagon. And I think that's good that we go into this with a different understanding that we don't. I think people sometimes like to give their power up to things. And I think a lot of people might, when they start to see some other beings that can do stuff, people might feel they want to give their power up to something that they don't need to.
Some people
And
may go that way. Yeah, sure.
and
We've never seen
that's
change like this. I mean,
yeah.
people living today have never seen a change of this magnitude. World War II doesn't do it. Um, well, World War One, World War Two, end of the Cold War. No, uh, I can't. There's just nothing that comes close. So this is essentially totally new territory for the human race, and so it's going to be difficult. It's going to be tricky, and they're going to get really, really intense and worked up. And I get that. Leading into it, I think they'll calm down after the announcement, frankly. But going into it, so I'm cautioning people to try to maintain uh, calm, try to maintain some perspective, and not get carried away because
Hmm.
we're not there yet, right? In other words, if everybody starts, you know, It's like it's like you're about to win the World Series and everybody runs on the field and they're with champagne bottles and they're running around. The game's not over.
Right.
So literally, the field has to. And this has happened, by the way. Particularly happens in football games in college, and so they have to clear the whole field, and can take a while, and finish the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, people don't do that. Don't run out in the field, start celebrating it.
Exactly. Well, all right. There you go. I'm going to leave it right here. There's a lot more to the interview. It was an hour and 26 minutes long. Is the total length of the interview? An hour and 26 minutes. You've heard 20 minutes of it here. So the link's available. You can check it out. Very good interview, all about the possibilities of what's going on, and maybe this might be the time. As he and I were discussing, this is a time a lot of things are coming together. The opportunity is right here, and sometime between now and when the elections occur in November, I see this seems to be the window of time when something might happen. So we'll see. We'll see how it all unfolds. I know Stephen's been working, really, really diligently on putting this all together over the years and trying to get make some progress. And this could be the big moment coming up over this year. We'll see. We'll see how it all unfolds. All right. So before let's see. I want to switch gears here to, we're going through this great change, right? If extraterrestrials show up, if they don't show up, we'll find out. But the change that's occurring is a change of energy, a change of spirit, our spirituality, an opportunity for us to rise up from the lower vibrations to a higher vibrational place. We could see right now that we're not really in overall a great place. When you see some of the events taking place in the world, the continued violence, the continued deception. I mean, the media, completely deceptive. If they had been more honest with the people over the years, people might not be so violent or angry. But people are angry because they've been lied to, and they don't know who they've been lied to. They think the government, which they're right about that, but the media has also done a great job of lying. Last night, Trump had a rally here in California, and as you probably will read in the news today and hear them talking about, is all the violence that occurred. This violence was happening as Trump supporters were coming out from a talk. They were being attacked by people who were saying to end the hate, but were out there hatefully yelling and throwing bottles and sucker punching people and throwing eggs. I mean, ridiculous. The police kind of stood back, and we're finding out today that the mayor of the city thought it was all justified, thought the anger was justified, and is blaming Trump for all of this when Trump had nothing to do with this. And actually, this gets to the point of the media, because when he first started talking about the things that his ideas, and talking about things like Mexico, instead of the media saying what he really said, they played little sound bites to make him sound the way they wanted him to sound. So all of these people who only listen to that, that's their version. And so they're out there. And quite frankly, there's a lot of stupid people that are out there protesting, proving his point, because they're out there being violent, burning American flags, attacking people, and then thinking that they're not a problem. That's a big problem, my friends. And this isn't just happening in California. This is happening all over. My concern is what's going to happen in Cleveland, what's going to happen in Philadelphia, what's going to happen in November, because something's boiling to a head. So if we don't get control of this, we're going to have a bloody mess here in America. And this civil war that has been talked about, that someone is trying to push, might actually happen if people don't maintain their restraint. I don't know about you, but in America, I have an issue with people coming here and burning American flags. And then when you find that those people are illegals, I have a problem with that. If you don't love America, why are you here? Unless you're either here to live or you're here to, to destroy. What are you here for? And if you're here to destroy, we don't want you here. We want this to be a peaceful place. We want this to be a place where we can all thrive. So this anger, this violence, it's ridiculous. And you know why this is going on? It's because God has been removed from the equation. Over and over and over again, we've allowed that. And we all have to take responsibility, because every time we've allowed that, every time where we've stayed quiet because somebody was saying something, we didn't want to speak our voice up to offend them. Every time we did that, we allowed God to be pushed away. You know what? It's time now to draw the line in the sand, and it's no longer appropriate to let God be pushed aside. It's time to stand in defense, to stand for something. And if you don't stand for God, then get out of the way. Get out of the way, because this is the problem. The problem is too many people are pushed, and we're becoming godless. And in godlessness, we become violent, and we become angry, and we become a place that we don't recognize. We had all the graces and the beauty and the wonderful things, but look how things are going down. And characters like the Antichrist are running around in the world. Leaders are betraying the people. So if we think that we can keep looking to those directions for assistance, then we're going to continue to get fooled. Because most of the leaders, a good chunk of them, they don't care. They don't care about anything but themselves. So each and every individual needs to take responsibility. Because one thing I do know for certain, as events start happening on this planet, as events of energy increases start happening or Earth changes, guess what? All of the people are going to be affected. Those people who think that they're not going to be affected will be affected. And then things will change, but it might be too late. So just know that the changes that are going on are happening to everyone, and everybody has an opportunity to allow themselves to get the full benefit of those changes. Or not. You can get run over by them, and a lot of people will, because they're not going to allow themselves the opportunity. Dolores Cannon, and I've played this, we've talked about the second Earth, second heaven, second Earth, new heaven, new Earth. Dolores Cannon about the splitting and the second Earth. In this splitting, maybe one place is just going to be all the angry, violent people who are just going to fight and have wars. And it's going to split, and the other version is going to be those who want to move on with a peaceful society. Could be something like that. So the question is, which world are you going to end up on? So that's sort of a long-winded approach to get to this article here. The Ascension Study Guide and the Personal Ascension Program. This is from over at In5D, Michelle Walling. It says, though dates have changed, the essence of the Ascension Study Guide is still accurate in my opinion. I highly recommend the study guide for the confirmation of what you are doing daily to prepare for ascension, as well as understanding the law of one, angels and archangels, clearing your energy field, and why it is so important at this time. It is also my understanding through Lisa Renee's material that the Guardian Alliance has said that the ascension window is between 2012 and 2017. As we near the middle of 2016, my guidance is telling me that the first waves of ascension are coming very soon. This is exciting news. There has been interference by those who do not want Earth to ascend, and they have been putting false messages out there that gave dates that came and went, and continue to say that it's on our doorstep and just around the corner. This is a brilliant strategy because we are making this happen, and those who sit back and wait rather than putting their efforts into helping Earth ascend have been part of the delay. Okay, so there's a lot more to this article. 86 pages to it, to the Ascension Guide. Check it out. Look, we are evolving. Everything is energy. We are beings that process energy. This energy is here now. We shouldn't stand around saying, I'm waiting for this energy to get here. I'm waiting. It's here now. Okay? So either you understand that or you don't. A lot of times I'm asked, what about this energy from the outside? When is it going to get here? Energy's here. The only thing is, it's not necessarily flowing from the outside like we think. It's flowing from other areas, and we experience it when we go inside. That's where the change is going to occur, because this physical body is the physical body of the material world. But the part of ourselves that rises is the spirit that flows with us. And that spirit is what is in charge. This body couldn't do anything without the spirit in it. Yet we go through life trying to fix the body first in order to get to the spirit. And it's not going to work. You need the spirit to make the body work. So we need to go in and we need to explore that area, and we need to allow that energetic connection to occur, because we've cut ourselves off from it. And I guarantee you, all the bad things that are happening in the world are happening because we've made bad decisions based on our cutting ourselves off, separating ourselves from the true source of life. When we get back to that, when we get back to the reconnection, things will change. And that's what this whole time period is about. We have to learn to look inside as opposed to out. Outside has tons of distractions. We like all the distractions, all the things that are out there. But we have to go inside to remember our connection, and then think of what's out here as an opportunity of things to enjoy, like an amusement park. But the real game is inside. The real connections are inside, and that's what we have to get back to. Because if we don't, well, I don't know if I want to be around in a society that doesn't have this connection to source. Because that society is simply going to crumble and get, continue like the thing we're seeing, the violence. It only gets worse. Think about all the countries that are godless. Look how bad off they are. We don't want that, my friends. So we need to get with the program. We need to go inside. Go inside to fix what's going on. All this nonsense is just ridiculous to see, and when we could so easily fix it. All right, here's our message for today from Archangel Gabriel.
Archangel Gabriel Daily Message Thursday, June 2nd, 2016 by Shelley Young. Some human beings get distraught when certain patterns recur in their lives. They think they are missing something fundamental or are being tested by the universe. When you come into the body, you have very specific goals on themes you wish to experience and master. You will set up the conditions to ensure those themes loop around, so you will have plenty of opportunity to experience and master them. This is because you know that you may not get everything you needed from the experience the first time around. Hear us when we say these are merely opportunities for experience. Let us put it this way. Let us suppose you wish to learn how to drive a car. You might take a class that would teach you the fundamentals of how to drive safely. Once you received your driver's license, you would not feel the need to take the course again. If you saw a poster advertising driver's education again, you would not immediately take that as a sign that you were not a good enough driver. You would simply disregard, knowing you had already completed that course. But you also know if you wish to brush up on your skills, you can also go back to it whenever you like, because it is available to you. We urge you to resist the tendency to always make yourselves wrong. If something comes around again, it is not because you are bad, being punished, or slow to learn. It is simply evidence of how much you, and the universe, made sure you had every last thing you needed in this lifetime to succeed. Archangel Gabriel.
Okay, good message. Very nice message indeed. That brings us to our meditation for the day. I want you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Take another breath. All right, take another breath. Exhale. And another breath. Inhale and exhale. And let's do another breath. Inhale and hold it, and exhale. Now feel this energy, this movement of energy continuing to flow in and out. And just take a moment to acknowledge how this energy has flowed in and out through your entire life. Whether it's only been a few years that you've been alive or many, many years. And with this breath, feel the beat of your heart. And feel the blood flowing through your body. And take time to appreciate how this has continued to pump and work through all of your years of life. And as you think of the miracle of life, you realize that what makes it work is the spirit that flows through all things, that animates things with life, connects them to the higher power. And we think about life and we realize that life and those people involved with life sometimes try to keep people in the dark, keep us in a place where we are distracted from appreciating that spirit that flows through us. So we think of those individuals, and there are many upon this earth, and we at this moment send them love. Send them love because we know that it is simply in their state of confusion that they put forth the distractions. So let's just imagine ourselves walking down the street, seeing people in the world, and just sending out positive energy, sending out love to those individuals. And we see some individuals accept that positive energy and continue to glow and shine and move past whatever obstacles they're involved with. Chains around them fall, and love changes their lives. We see others who are so resistant and to all of this change that simply this positive energy pushes them away, keeps them from harming others. So in every way, love will change all things. Whether you embrace it or not, love will change you. And as we look at the world and we see the chaos of the world, we understand the importance of sending out love to balance out and outshine all of the other violence that is taking place. Heavenly Father, Heavenly Mother, thank you so much for the blessings that you provide to us this day, all days in our past and all days in the future. We are blessed to connect with the Spirit that flows through us, this light of Christ that shines bright in all of our lives. And we thank you for the opportunity to shine this light bright into the world, that we might all become beacons of change, beacons of positivity, beacons of love. So let our subconscious mind continue upon this journey, sending out love and light into the world, letting that be enough, feeling the connections that this energy brings to that which is inside, something much more profound and deeper than the physical body. Let the subconscious mind continue on the journey, and let's bring the conscious mind back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take another deep breath. Exhale, and open your eyes. All right, my friends, that is it for today. That's the show for the week. Thank you so much for being here. Got a number of links available at First Contact Radio. Go back and listen to the rest of this interview that took place. I think you'll really enjoy what was there. You know, before I leave, I thought I'd leave with one last little thing. I have here, this is a prayer to Saint Michael the Archangel. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray, and do thou, O Prince of the heavenly host, by the divine power of God, cast into hell Satan and the evil spirits who prowl throughout the world seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. You can find this prayer online, the prayer of St. Michael the Archangel. We need to call forth the protections that are around us. We need to connect with the spirit within. We need to push this evil and this darkness and this violence out of the world because it's just getting out of hand. The good news is there's enough of us around that want to do positive things in the world, millions of people that want to put positivity into the world, that all of this can be counteracted very easily. It's all a mental game. We have to use our minds. We have to bring forth the spirit. It already exists within us. We just need to bring it forth. When we do, great things will happen. That's it, my friends. Have an awesome weekend. Remember, we got the new moon tomorrow night. And then, of course, as I've mentioned, there are some who've recalibrated the Mayan calendar, showing that this coming weekend is time when that calendar changes from one to the next. They never prophesized doom. They prophesized that there would be the return of the gods, an infusion of new energy. So maybe something miraculous or wonderful will happen over this weekend. Or maybe it'll just be the same as always. Either way, we'll be back next week and we'll continue on. Thank you so much. I love you. Keep loving each other, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. I'm out of here.